welcome back to Timberborn, and I've played on a little bit, but I stopped, and I don't remember why I stopped, which is a little bit annoying, but we're going to carry on with some things that I had planned. These are part of the long-term plan, and they do kind of feed into people's comments, so there are some areas that we need to work on. I have not forgotten about them, so those are developing over here. And I did put in some staircases to start working on this. And let's put in a few more because we do need to basically work on clearing stuff out of here. And this can be a nice kind of background task for the beavers. That staircase was not put in an intelligent place. So let's delete that one. And let's put it in a more intelligent place instead. And, what I think I'm torn. There's two ideas. One suggestion was to put storage over here, which I quite like the idea of, but there's going to be a lot of explosives used over here first, and we're up to 400 logs, but a bit of me thinks that we should still probably throw in a lumberjack and mark all of this to be cut. It's only birch trees, I know, but you know, with how we've been for logs, I don't want to waste them. I did set thank you to the YouTube comment for pointing out these weren't set to be cut. They are now. Yep. So working on getting that prepped. But the original plan, because I was talking about greening up this area, the original plan actually was to push most of this back. Now we're going to be limited by the fact we've got a bad water source here, but that's probably not a massive problem. We're not going to do a sky storm and move. I've been watching a bit of sky storm this morning, and yep, he's been moving his bad water sources about. Don't have a problem with that because the stuff he's doing is insane. Yeah, but what we're going to want to do is start moving this back so that we can turn it into farmable land at this level. I did like someone's suggestion of sorting out the river, but I think before we do that, we're going to work on this. So that's why this was set to be emptied. In fact, so that we could, in fact, both of these are set to be emptied. And this is needing to be finished so that we can finish emptying that. I mean, I could just pause those for now because that will stop producing bad water and then we will start using it. And the other thing we're going to want to do is, I came up with a very cool idea that I'm not going to explain yet, but I've got a very cool idea for a feature on here that occurred to me while I was running. Yeah, I'm quite excited for it. We are going to need, I did also like, someone did suggest filling this in. Actually, we might end up cutting all of this back, so we'll see. I did also want to see, can we can deepen this some more, so we probably should. What that means is I want to put in, God, work brain work. I want to put in bridges. So we then need to leave a gap of 1. Actually, we can leave a gap of 2, can't we? But I might as well put it there. So let's... Oh, no, that's not going to work, is it? Nope. Put that there. That double? Yep. And that was a 4, wasn't it? Is that going to be a 4 as well? Yep. And we're going to try and deepen this as much as possible. That is still not empty. Okay. I'm going to prioritize building that. This guy is chopping these down. So that's pretty cool. Good stuff. Yes, so originally when I was planning this series, I was going to make a custom map, which essentially had something that looked a lot like this with just a wall at the back. And that's kind of what we've got, but we've got this growth in the middle, shall we say. Let's call it a growth. Let's go with a growth. So I'm going to work on treating the growth, shall we say. So we're going to demolish those and those and those. I think you have to click these one at a time. I might be wrong, but if I am, you know, so what? We'll get rid of those. We're going to get rid of the overhangs. I know some of you said, but that's where you're supposed to send the bad water, but we're not. So this one is staying because it might be part of my long-term plan for something, but these are not. So demolish. Demolished. This is all going to get a rework as well, but we can only tackle so many jobs at once. So why aren't you working? What are we out of? We're still out of heads. Why is the bot head factory not running? Metal blocks. Okay. Yeah. Probably because we've got beavers in here, not bots, but we're short of bots because we've not got enough bot heads. I think we're going to have to try and free up some bots, which probably means putting beavers back in here and risking the fact that they're going to get stung. Where else? Let's swap some of those over as well. And you, yep, let's do that. But you can, yeah, let's do that. Because we need that metal going. So that's done. You're still not empty. Okay. We've got those being emptied because we need to rework that. Oh, we're building all of that as well. That's why, aren't we? By all of that, I mean all of that. Yeah. To those of you that were concerned about this leaking, it cannot because the sluices were set to be lower than the level of this. I had that covered. I do occasionally get some things right. Very occasionally. So, explosives. Explosives. Looks like we might need a little bit of path there. And we'll get that to a level. I think I'm going to do these one at a time, actually, because if we can make this all one level, we can then start doing it in bigger chunks. So that probably works. Probably works. What else? Hey, excellent. Right. Delete. Delete. Now, we have the other challenge that this is here. We are going to need to relocate that at some point, and relocating it into the restructured water system would be good. I do like the way that I've not watched much of JC's series on here, but I do like the way JC has that sitting in the water system. So yeah. Right. More explosives. We're actually sitting on quite a decent amount of explosives, so that's fine. And the other challenge that we've got is getting round this corner. I'm wondering if we can do that with... Why can't we put platforms over those? Why isn't there a tree in that corner? Plant trees. Chestnut tree. Make sure you're not set to be cut. You're not. Right, so what we're going to have to do instead, this is going to be a temporary structure. Yeah, that might work. No, that won't work. If we do double, and then we can use the overhangs. Yeah, like that. Like that. Basically, I want to be able to get around that corner so we can cut some of this away. So let's come back over here. That can all go. That's going to that level, which is great. We don't have space for planks. Okay. So one of the things that I want to do is put in one of these for each of the, probably not metal, maybe treated planks, but essentially I want to put in one for logs, dirt, planks, and treated planks, probably not metal or scrap metal, because we're just not producing enough. And that's I need 1, 2, 3. If I want to put 4 of these in somewhere around here, and to enable that, it might make sense to push this back. It might make sense to move the observatory over here to make use of this. It's going to be interesting to see how this holds up with the droughts. Right, that's in, so donate that. And now we can use some double dynamite. And let's put path there. That should be okay. So that is, I think, yep, 10 wide. And that'll cut that down to that level. At the same time, I think we're going to start working from over here. So let's get a path in. Gets us over here. I've kind of got one, but I don't really want to start working from there. And essentially, I want to cut back. I'm tempted to cut that back as well. Do we need that? We don't, do we? Right. Can we go to the path? Can we go back beyond the path? I think we can. If you're screaming at the screen that I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. But I think we can do that. And I also think we can do... Could we get there anymore? I don't think we can we? I think what we need to do is... make some sort of staircase. Probably where we've got space to actually make a staircase. Let's come at it from there. Yep. There. There. And then we'll just kind of turn it at the end. Which I know is not completely efficient, but it's fine. Because then we can run a path along there. Get all of that. And then get that bit. Yep, that works for me. That should be okay. But I keep having to check OBS. I've made some more upgrades to the computer and I'm just keeping an eye on things. Just keeping an eye on things. Right, I think we could do with a Is it worth putting it there? No, let's put it. Biofuel. Tane. Yep. Also, right, that's in as well. So I've got all our barrels built. Excellent stuff. Have we got bot heads yet? We've got one bot head. One of you remind me in about 10 minutes to swap that back. We need a little bit of a boost on bot head production. So, but that's getting better. We need to clear that corner out as well. So let's do that. And then I think I'm going to move this. Don't know if I've got enough storage. I must have enough storage elsewhere. Have I got enough storage elsewhere to empty that? Yes, it looks like we have. You're basically empty anyway. Because I'm thinking that we cut this down to be the same level as this. And why? Oh God. Attention span of something with not much of an attention span. I was going to suggest we move the observatory, or at least link into this power grid, and that will free up this space. And actually we've got enough science that we could get rid of it and rebuild it in the near future. So once we get to that point, we will just do that. It's set to be emptied, isn't it? Yeah, okay. They'll get to it. They'll get to it. So the reason I'm not rerouting the river first is I want to see where we need to reroute it to be able to irrigate the area that we need. Because obviously we probably shuffle it over this way a fair bit. Probably we might adjust the level a bit as well. Not sure. Yeah. That seems to be taking them a while. Is that just because there isn't actually any spare storage? I think it is. I think it is. I think we are actually, yeah, I don't think I've got any more log storage spare. So let's put in a temporary one over here. So logs, let's fast build that. We've got a few gears, so yeah, that should be okay. We don't have any heads yet still. We're just running that darn slow. We've still got chassis, so we're okay. We are okay. So once that's built, they'll be able to empty the other one. And that'll be cool. They're working on building this. Oh, they're probably not, probably can't build that, can they? No. Probably what we need to do, be able to get out to build that. To put that there, that will let them come out here, build that, and then they can build that, and then they can build that. Yep. It's a process, folks. As I haven't watched JC in a while. Do enjoy watching his videos. I just don't have the time to watch everyone at the moment. I think I said a couple of weeks ago I found a new Timberborn creator that I'm really enjoying, but I just haven't had the time to watch any more of his content. And I'm trying to keep up with Sky's Beaver Atlantis or with Sky Storm's series, and yeah, between that and another series that I'm watching on YouTube, I don't have time to watch enough. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Not enough hours in the day. So, a pre-warning for you beaver fans. Am I going to get rid of that as well? Yeah. The new version of Farming Simulator releases imminently, and that is going to impact my Timberborn content for a little while. I'm not sure how much it will affect it, but it's likely to have an effect. So, yep. Timberborn won't be going away, but it might just slow down a bit. I don't know. I will see. But just to kind of pre-warn you guys that there might be a week, maybe, where there isn't so much Timberborn content. Kind of the same, I guess, if there was a whole new Timberborn game, I'd kind of focus on that. So these are getting pretty low, and the sun is getting low. We could do with the wind to blow a little bit. We could also probably do with switching back on these guys. So we now have 6 whole bot heads. So I am going to put back on the chassis production. So that should be okay now. Just wondering how essential that path is to access. It seems like it is. I'm wondering if we might want to keep that. I mean, there are other ways the beavers can get to it, so maybe we bite the bullet, take it out, replace it. So maybe we just go for that. Let's delete you. Put the double there. So that's going to go down by 3, which is 1, 2, 3. So there'll then be 1 above. Cool. Explosives is holding up okay. That's in ready to be exploded. So guess we can also let's roll that down and put in as many as we can, which is that many. And we'll be able to take out these and put in a couple more, but let's just get that as deep as we can. So the reason I'm deepening that is the plan is to have this and this be fed by just bad water in the next phase of this development, and good water is going to go into irrigation only. So yeah, right, that's in. So that can be deleted now. That path can be reconnected because they should be able to get that now, which means they can build all of that, which means they can do all of that. Awesome. Reservoir is just fine at the moment. Right, that's all in. So I'm going to delete that to try and discourage beavers from coming along here. Right, we should be good. Let's go. That's quite a change, isn't it? Right. Let's delete that. Delete that. Delete that and that. Let's put a single explosives there. Rather than building a new staircase, we're just going to make use of that one for now. And we'll do that and that. Then cover this with explosives. If I'm going to do that, I should probably just put a double there, shouldn't I? Yeah. Instead of knocking it down by one and then putting another single there. Yep. That makes sense to me. And then the question is, do I remove all of this and just flatten this whole thing? That is the question. A bit of tearing on the screen. Interesting. Very interesting. Don't know if that's on the video recording or just on the monitor. So the change that I have made is I have upgraded my graphics card, but it has caused me a few problems. So, yeah. This is the first gaming that I've done on it. So, he says it's caused him a few problems. He hasn't actually really used it in anger yet. They get to those, they can't get to those. Okay, I'm not massively worried that we can't get to those. So, let's detonate those. And can we place any more? No, we're at the bottom of the map. Awesome. So let's do that. Let's delete those and recover those resources. Awesome stuff. I probably shouldn't have detonated that whilst we were in a drought. But we are okay for bad water, so it's probably fine. Probably fine. Now I've got 3 spare bots. So I'm just going to look at all of the notifications we probably had, but there's not many at the moment, which is kind of weird. For some reason we have lots of hungry beavers. But so one of the things that I did do is I put in a whole load of storages of food. So over here we've got maple pastries, grilled spaladoc, bread on instant access for the beavers. So yeah, I'm not sure why. Maybe they just don't have enough hours in the day. Let's go down to a 16-hour workday. I'm not actually worried about how long the workday is for the beavers now, so actually we're going to swap you to be bots as well. Oh, we actually have scrap metal. And we have explosives going in. Awesome stuff. So just going to double check. Yeah, that should be fine to blow up. Yep, that was fine. And then we're going to go around here and do that as well. And then we want to do that there. Going to do that and that. I know, it just makes it level with the existing terrain. Tearing on the monitor is very weird. I'm really hoping that's not appearing on video as I move the screen around. Okay, I have double checked and that is not showing up in the video, which is cool. So, sorry, just had someone knock on the door, and that really just threw me as well. So we're going to keep replacing this. I do want to move this. Remember, at 75,000 science at the moment. I don't think we're going to be massively hampered if we just delete this for now. We then want to focus on, the thing we need to focus on. Sorry, I did part of this and then got door knock has thrown me, and I deleted the bit that I've just done because so we're going to redo what I've just done, which is to start thinking about putting in the windmills in here, because these are empty and we need some more wind power for drought resilience. And the way that I decided we would build these, because basically the plan is, sorry, I'm just recomposing myself, to build a windmill on each of these intersections. And I think the easiest way of doing that, maybe not the most efficient, but certainly the easiest, is to have one staircase and then just throw in platforms and bridges, and then as we build each one, we can delete each platform, bridge, and that should work just fine. We can put the straight power connections underneath without too much of a problem. There we go, and that should be okay, and that's going to let us add in another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 large windmills. Really, we want to be building them all the way around the edge here. How do I enable that? What I want to do is, can I bridge? Can I bridge that way? I can bridge that way. Yes, let's do that. Let's detonate those. Delete that now. Yep. So that we can do just by doing those one at a time. So if we get that built, we can then somewhat inefficient to be inefficient. Yeah, we're going to have to be actually, because we're going to have to build the windmills one at a time anyway. Where you can? Oh, you're not going to let me build any along there because we're map edge. That's fine. So yeah, that makes sense. Let's delete that. Power. First one you're going to let me build is there. That's just fine. And they'll be able to get to... Can they get to that? Too far from a district. Why are you too far from a district? Am I missing a... Yep. There. Perfect. Awesome. So you can go... How is that too far from a district? Ah. There. Right, you should be able to now place that. I guess. I can't judge how high those are. That looks like a 3 and a 2, doesn't it? I'm going to play cautious. Those look like easy wins to me. Excellent. Wow, that was quick. So we want to do power. Just keep an eye on these being built. I was right. I was being overly cautious. Right, back over here. That's all in, so let's detonate that. And you. That was a bit anticlimactical. And then what I'm going to do for now is you, because I'm undecided here. A bit of me thinks we knock this down the remaining 4. A bit of me thinks we square it off and keep this bit up here for storage. A bit of me thinks, because these have to be built on ground. Yeah, I'm torn at the moment, so just going to put this in to remake the connection up here whilst I ponder that. And we go on a power side quest. Because we kind of need to sort that, so we should get that built way before they get that built. And, yep. Excellent. That's now generating some power. As is that. Awesome. Right, so that's in actually. So let's be sensible and put the next one in. So power. There we go. Yep. And then what we need to do is going to come here and knock that down one. Yep. Can't decide with that. Let me know what you guys think we should be doing with that area. I am so torn. A bit of me thinks we just level it. And then we can do with as we see fit. We don't need these. We really don't. I mean, that one's kind of built into the staircase now, so kind of nice to stay there. We've got 5 days left and 11 deep water. Awesome stuff. It's power there. Oh, that's okay. I thought I just disconnected something. Right, you can go. You can go. You need to be set to empty. You are empty. You can go. You don't need to be there. If I delete that, that's the only one of those we have. I know, wow. So we need to rebuild it somewhere. Question is where? Which is why I'm hesitant to knock it down, because currently it's giving us 3 well-being. I mean, we could do a temporary jobby of, because that's just a 2x2, isn't it? Actually, I don't even need to go that high, do I? Could do a temporary jobby that's that. Just throw it in the middle of the river. Keep the well-being. Right, let's delete that staircase. Put in the missing piece of dynamite. Let's keep going with this. It's going to be really hard to pick a thumbnail for today because it doesn't feel like we've done a huge amount, but rather than just skipping lots of time, we've played along together today. And yeah, I really want your feedback on this bit. So my gut feel at the moment is we blast this down 4 more. So we rip this out, blast it down to ground level, essentially. Right, monuments, farmer monument. So you go there. I am then going to delete that to recover the logs. So it's cost us, that didn't cost us too much. I think we're going to have to take the hit on, are we actually getting much benefit from campfires at this point? No. The only thing is they help the kits grow up faster. I would like to find somewhere to put some. But again, they're another one that has to go on ground. So in terms of well-being, I would like to keep a couple of campfires. And I want to put in a few agoras and their ground only as well. I think they're the only ones. Yeah. So that will be part of this space, maybe. We can maybe fit campfires around here, actually. We're actually storing metal blocks now. That feels like a first. And I think I removed all of our storage for them. Right. You can go. Yep. And then we start with this job. So we might do the same here. I'd originally contemplated something different, but really want to maximize the farmland, so right, power, you go there, you get deleted, power, one more to delete, power, windmill, you go there. I'm going to stop building these ones in the middle once the drought ends because we will want the power from the water wheels to be working. So, but while they're not connected up, it's fine. So let's hit that and that with priority. These ones along the back we can keep going on because they don't affect it. Yeah. So 3 more spare bots. So let's throw those in there. 15 spare beavers, which is great because we need those for water pumping soon. Oh, log supply is looking pretty good, so we should start building something with logs soon. Yeah, we need... I'm worried now, actually. Yeah, we don't have any metal block storage just for now, because we are going to be reworking metal block storage. I know this is incredibly inefficient. You don't need to tell me. And we should have it closer to where they're working. But for now, they're going to build a metal block storage over here. It's fine. Beavers like carrying stuff. Because it means I can empty this. Because I think I can put some campfires around here. Which kind of makes more sense. I can put 2 campfires. Do I leave a gap in the middle? Bear with me. There is method. And we do decoration. Let's put a beaver statue there for the young uns. And then I'm going to delete those 2. Again, we recover. And I know we're not using it. It's fine. They are set to be cut. Are they not covered by... No, they are covered by a lumberjack as well. They just haven't got to them. Yeah, that's going in. Awesome stuff. How are we doing for time? We are doing good for time. Also keeping an eye out. So the person that I thought was knocking on the door was not the Amazon delivery I'm expecting. So... power. Another windmill. And delete. It's annoying they won't let me get all of them in one hit. Power. There we go. And let's hit both of those with priority. So now we are generating double the amount of power we're consuming when the wind is blowing, which is good because that means power go up. We could also fit 2 more these gravity batteries there if I were to do some dynamiting. So, because we're not doing enough of that already, let's do that, shall we? Right, that's in. So delete that. Put the... because we're going to have to rework access to that anyway. So we may as well do that. And what we could probably try and do is start reorganizing this. So I think we're going to blast this down as well. Yeah, which means I don't need this that I built because I've changed my plans for that. You're probably a double. Come on. There we go. Oh, so very close. So what would be more sensible here would be to rip those out and come at that from below. I think. And then up here, put that in. Yep. Right, so here. Delete those. Have to be really careful to not delete levies. Awesome. some of this can be deleted as well by the looks of it. So you don't need to be there. That does because of the weird way I've built it. But we could make that way more efficient. And we could change all of this around as well. You can go, so that's the drought over. We ended with 4,000 water, which is fine, and plenty of food. Good stuff. Start refilling the water. Let's get some priority on that job, please, beavers. And then we're going to on path. There we go. Like that. And then stairs. And like that. And I'll let them knock that down to the same level as this. Yep, that'll be good. At the moment, we're fine for food and trees and stuff, but what that's going to let us do is increase the population. So, on our meander, I think I hit 1,000 beavers. I am really curious how, and that was with the iron teeth, which does let you be more efficient. I am really curious how big a population we can fit on this map. I'm really curious if we can do something equally crazy on here. I don't know. Obviously, we need a heck of a lot more housing and a heck of a lot more food. But once we've got stuff built, we could reduce the amount of trees that we have and plant very efficient food like wheat for bread. Yeah. I'm going to demolish those. Do I need to demolish that one as well? We might need that for access. We'll sort it. We'll sort it. So that is now... Assuming that double works. Nope. So that needs to be another layer of triples. Oh, because I only put doubles there, didn't I? Yeah. Not sure why I did that, but oh well. Let's do that. And we'll keep progressing. We have some flooding going on. Why do we have flooding going on? We're all set to 3.6, but you're at a depth of 3.9. That going to go away? Was that just a bit of a surge? Might have been. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Nothing to panic about, I don't think. What I didn't do is keep an eye on this because I was busy doing other things. Oh well. So what we want to do is put those there. So our bad water is rather low, so let's throw a couple of bots at these. I'm guessing we ran out. Sure, some of you will let me know that I did. And there goes the power back up before even all the wheels are spinning. So it recharges very quickly, but it's not constant power, obviously. And that's just one of those things with the setup that we have at the moment. Now, we could do stuff with trying to maintain constant power with water wheels and deep mechanical pumps. But we don't have anything set up for that yet. We might have to try. Which means we might actually need to dedicate a corner of the map to that. Maybe that's what this corner should be for. And we could bring some excess water over. Because at the moment we don't have, or we could use this corner. And we could rework some stuff. To try and get a more robust power solution. I'm going to blow this and then I think we're done for today. Because my Amazon delivery should be here very soon. There we go. Oh, we are overflowing. That's a first. That's a first, I think. I did not expect to see that. Do we need some magic tiles? No, it just needed to sort itself out. Sort your life out, game. Now, before we blow this down, it would probably be sensible, whilst we have path, to do that. And this. So let's do that. Let's be sensible, shall we? And that'll get that whole area knocked back to the level of that. We'll be able to see how much of it is irrigated by our current irrigation system. I would like to see the water, please. Thank you. And oh, I've got 85 scrap metal. I guess it's because we're not using metal particularly. Yeah, we've stored some metal, which is good, because I'm sure very soon we will have a project which will start caning the metal usage. Because that seems to be how it goes. But for now, while the bots keep placing explosives, I'm going to say thanks for watching. That little bit of flooding there. A little bit of flooding is slightly annoying. I wonder if, because it's not actually like it's flooding, that almost looks like visual glitch. There's a tiny bit. Almost helping hydrate, except if it was bad water, it would suck. I wonder if that is because we're struggling to get enough water out. Or if we just need to swap that to be a levy piece. Anyway, we are done for today, folks. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members, and I will see you guys next time.